Alright, let's dive into the mind of one of the most relatable and, let's be honest, hilariously cynical middle schoolers out there, Greg Heffley. We're gonna get into all the anxieties, the wild schemes, and yeah, the pure laziness that surrounds one of life's biggest events.
And the reason we're talking about all this, it's because of this brand new book, the 20th in the series, called Partypooper. Jeff Kinney is finally tackling the one day that's supposed to be nothing but joy, but for Greg, well, for Greg, it's a minefield of stress and seriously questionable ideas. The birthday party.
I mean, for most of us, right, birthdays mean cake, presents, having a good time. But if you're Greg Heffley, it means you're staring down the barrel of social obligations, dealing with weird relatives, and you've got this nagging feeling that you're just doing everything wrong. So where does all this stress even come from?
Well, to really get Greg's birthday blues, we have to go back, way back. Or at least we have to go back according to Greg's, let's call it a very unique version of history.
So Greg's got this whole theory. He thinks that back in ancient times, life was just this awesome, chaotic mess. Nobody celebrated birthdays, nobody even knew how old they were, and things just happened. And in his mind, that was the golden age.
But then, of course, disaster struck. According to Greg's history, some guy stood up and ruined it for all of humanity by yelling, "It's my birthday, you all have to buy me presents!" And boom, just like that, the age of birthday anxiety had officially begun. And that so-called ancient problem? It leads directly to very modern ones. And honestly, there's no problem more perfectly Greg Heffley than the thank you card trap.
You know the drill. You get presents, which is great, but then you have to actually do the work of thanking people. As Greg says, some of my older relatives get pretty annoyed when I forget, which leads to these amazing, passive-aggressive notes from people like Aunt Dorothy. Come on, we've all been there.
And this right here, this just sums up the whole conflict. On one side, you've got all this pressure from the family, and on the other, you have Greg's solution, which is just a masterclass in efficiency. I mean, why write a bunch of cards when you can just stand up at your own party and give a big, generic thanks to everyone to the whole room? Problem solved, right?
Of course, his mom doesn't buy it and makes him write the cards anyway, but that's when he unleashes his masterpiece, his ultimate life hack. For his Aunt Nancy, he adds a little note. P.S. Please save this card and read it again next year at this time. It's so lazy, it's kind of genius. It's pure Wimpy Kid.
But you know, Greg's worries go way deeper than just trying to get out of chores. He's also dealing with that totally universal fear of, well, just getting older. He sees it all around him in his own family, like his great-uncle Albert, who seems to forget his own birthday a few times a year. Greg's got a theory, of course. He's totally faking it just to get more cake, which Greg admits is a pretty solid strategy, so his secret's safe with me.
But then, it gets personal. He starts seeing these TV commercials for anti-aging cream, and suddenly he's worried about unsightly age spots. This kid starts secretly using his mom's skincare products just to stay ahead of things, until he gets caught, naturally.
So, you've got the dread of history, the pressure of thank you cards, and a deep-seated fear of aging. You mix all that together, and it all comes to a boiling point in this 20th book where Greg finally decides to take control.
And before we get to what he does, just think about this number for a second. Over 300 million books sold around the world. This isn't just a popular series, it's a global phenomenon. It just goes to show you how much Greg's way of thinking really clicks with, well, pretty much everyone. And that brings us right back to Partypooper. Greg is fed up. He's tired of everyone else's rules and expectations, so he decides he's gonna plan the ultimate birthday party for himself. He's taking charge. He's gonna make it absolutely perfect.
So what could possibly go wrong? How about everything? The guest list explodes, the decorations are a total flop, all his brilliant surprises completely backfire, there are cake-related disasters, and of course, you've got your classic family fiascos. It's definitely a blowout, just not the good kind.
So I guess the big question is, after all this scheming, all this stress, will Greg finally get the amazing birthday party he thinks he deserves? Or is he just destined to become the ultimate party pooper at his very own party?
This is definitely going to be another hilarious and all too real chapter in Greg Heffley's life. If you want to find out what happens, the link to this book is in the video description.